Hey guys, I'm FatBuddyCat, and this is my custom off-road chopper. Today's video should be just as informative as it is awesome. Because not only are we going to test ride this mini bike, but we're also going to test out the Torkzilla and some options for the 30 series driven unit. These tests are going to be performed utilizing a box race engine. This is a Tillotson 212R. The only modification is a bored 660 carburetor. The governor is intact and set from the factory at 5,800 RPM. Since we've established that we have a maximum usable RPM range, we're going to try to take full advantage of the impingement that we do have. I have a standard red spring pulley and another pulley, exactly the same unit, but with a Comet yellow spring inside. The yellow spring is a little bit stiffer than the red spring. This is going to change where the belt is during the impingement process. I also have a 9 and a 10 tooth jack shaft sprocket. We're going to switch these out and see if changing the ratio ever so slightly has any bearing on this whatsoever. These tests are going to take 12 to 15 minutes. Pay attention to the graphs. Top speed is important, but other factors are going to be relevant. We'll go over the results as soon as we're done. First up, Torkzilla. red spring and the 9-tooth. Here we are with the Torkzilla in the yellow spring. last run is going to be the yellow spring and the 9-tooth. Before we go over these results, let's take a minute and talk about this bike. The power to weight ratio is really something. Even though we're slightly limited on RPM, we're far from limited on the fun factor. The bobbed looking seat, custom intake, extra long foot pegs, even a 4-liter tank. When you reach out and grab onto these bars, it really feels like a mini chopper. Originally, I was going to compare Torkzilla to a modified 30 series driver. Well, I'm lined up with the stock holes on the original engine mounts on the mini bike. And that's where I'm spaced out for the Super Series driver. That leaves nothing for this. That's odd. So, what we think is going on is that the spacers need to be changed. I would have to offset the wheel to offset the sprocket because it's attached to the hub. There's a brake on this side. You can't spin it around, and it's definitely not upside down. So, I don't know. Am I ready to give up my nice centered tire and wheel? I'm not sure yet. I'd still like to see what we can do with the old Torkzilla. All right, you ready for it? Wham, bam, bla, jam. There's a lot going on there. It's actually really simple. We have 4 runs and we have 3 speeds. We have a top speed. We have the top speed in the field. And then we have our average miles per hour. With this bit of information, we're able to make a pretty rapid conclusion. If we just look at the colors, these are the reds and these are the yellows. We notice across the board the top speed difference. With the red 10, we got 27. With the 9, we got 28. On the yellow side, we got 23 and then 24. So, we went up 1 mile an hour here, and we went up 1 mile an hour there. What's the common denominator? That's that 9-tooth. The second line is for the field runs, and that represents a controlled distance. We're able to achieve roughly the same speed. The third line is our average speed. If you look at the graph and you drew a line somewhere right around there and there. This in between is what this represents. So, again, the 9-tooth resulted in a higher speed each time. If you love this as much as me, you're really going to enjoy this next part. If we fold our paper, we can bring our columns next to each other. We can also get rid of the 10-tooth just like that. Now, we can concentrate on that 9-tooth because that's where we are seeing the best result. Now, we know that we got a higher top speed with the red spring. Considerably. 4 miles an hour. Out in the field, in a closed course, again, we got an extra mile an hour. Right here, we lost 1 mile an hour. But, you know what? That's 2 to 1. The 9-tooth makes a bigger difference than the color of the spring. You know what makes an even bigger difference than the sprocket, though? The race engine. I don't know about you, but my wrench is ready. Because as always, it's a work in progress. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.